Hey guys, it's Sarah Barrett and I am back with a new video. This one's going to be a little bit different because I am actually using something brand new to me. These are the VSCO Presets. I know VSCO has a mobile app that you can download on your phone. I use that a lot for my photos as well whenever I am shooting for my calligraphy and stationery account, and I just need something quick and easy to do. So this is for Adobe Lightroom Classic CC, and these are the presets that I have. So I am just going to kind of skim through most of these and see which one looks best for my photos and see which ones don't. I know that each one does a separate thing, and I will look into that a little bit more. I also know that these are based off of film photography, kind of colors, hues, the grain, all that jazz, and that is exactly what I want for these photos because they are for a vintage shop that I collaborated with, which is called Orange Velvet Vintage, and we did a little mini photo shoot with one of my other friends who is a photographer, Beasley. She mainly shot in film and I shot all in digital. The photos that we're going to be editing today are from my Canon 5D Mark III, and you can see all of the info here. So this particular one was at ISO 200, 50mm lens with an f-stop 1.8 and one, I believe it's 60th of a second. I can't really see very well. And yeah, let's just kind of go over these and see which one I like best. Now, these presets are definitely not one and done clicks, so I am going to have to work on some of these, whether it's like the green because I like my green a certain color, or it may be like a blue or a red. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't really tried these out, and so you're kind of on this journey with me. I really like the Portrait series. HP5 are obviously black and white, and so I am just going to kind of go through here pretty quickly, see which ones I like, which ones I don't like. This was not at sunset, but like right between sunset and twilight, I would say. Yeah, I love the Portrait. I think these are gonna be my ticket item. And I also know that I may need to adjust the white balance just a little bit. For the shoot, we had some really amazing models. They were college and one high school. 2 college girls and 1 high school student, and they did a really great job, and they didn't really have much experience with modeling, but I think they did a really great job. Not all of these photos are going to make it in the final selection, which is totally fine. These were just some that I really like. I just want to see what this one looks like. You know, this is pretty much what I do all the time when I have new presets or if I'm experimenting with some things. You really never know what you're going to get, so you might as well just work with it. Where was that? Okay, I think we're gonna go with C Portrait 160. So like I said, this is not a one-click wonder type of thing. So you can already see that it's brightened it up, it's contrasted. And I actually don't like my greens being on the blue side. So what I'm going to do is actually go down here and change the hue of my greens to be a little more on the yellow. I like that warmth to it. And then I'm gonna go down here and enable profile corrections. So I'm going to bring up the vignetting just a little bit. And that might be it. I really do like that a lot. My original edit actually looked like this. I don't know which one I like better. I always have that problem. Okay, so the one on the left is the one that I created originally. So this is with kind of like my preset, and then this is with the VSCO Cam one. And I really like both of them. I can definitely tell there's a difference. The one on the left is more magenta, and the one on the right is more on the green side. So I don't know, this is always so hard for me because I really like both. I don't know exactly what I'm going to end up with, but let me know in the comments which one you like the best, or if there is one that you like more than the other. I would really like to know that. I'm just going to brighten up her face just a little bit. That's the before. So this is definitely dramatically different than either one, but I don't know, I'm kind of feeling this one. I know the green hue is definitely more on the side of what you would think vintage. If I wanted to, I could always expose it just a little bit more, but I really like to keep some detail in the model's face. And then I'm actually going to go down here, and I know that, yeah, I'm going to actually sharpen it just a little bit, so maybe right here. And then a really awesome trick to kind of use is actually hold down your Option key or your Alt key while sliding the mask. And this is going to show you the parts that it's sharpening the most. So why I like to kind of go up on the sharpening is because I want to make sure that things in the foreground and things that are very pertinent to the image are standing out and are sharp, such as her eyes, her nose, her lips, her hair, you know, the outfit, because this is a fashion shoot. So I definitely want to make sure that the fashion is in focus. And also if she has any blemishes, which she really doesn't, but to just kind of take out some of the noise and texture in her face, this is going to help that. So when I take out some of the sharpness in her face, it's going to take out some of the texture, so I won't have to necessarily go into Photoshop and do any retouching because it's already going to be pretty smooth. Okay, so we're finished with the sharpening, and what I'm going to do now is go up here to the healing brush tool, press clone. Sometimes you can just do the heal brush, and then what I'm going to do is just pinpoint it and then make sure that it is gone. So that's what that looks like. She has another spot right here. Like I said, this is totally fine, nothing to be embarrassed of. We all have it, every single one. And you don't necessarily see these only because we're not like this close up to her face, so. Because I want to keep this very natural, I actually don't want to do too much to her face as far as retouching. I am going to go ahead and use my adjustment brush tool, go here, and then I'm going to dodge, which is lighten, and then use this a little bit under her eyes. So I'm going to make sure that the size is, you know, whatever. Feather it a lot, that's fine. and then just kind of go under her eyes a little bit. And then make it smaller over here. So I'm just using some shortcut keys to make sure that everything is a little bit faster. So to size your adjustment brush up or down, you can press the left bracket and that'll make it smaller, or the right bracket and that will make it bigger. Okay, so now I'm just going to adjust this ever so slightly, not too much. So you can toggle this and see what the difference is. Oh yeah, so that definitely brightened up her under eyes a lot. Yeah, okay, awesome. You could also contour with this method using the dodge and burn tools. I am not going to do that because like I said, I just really want this to be very, very natural. Okay, so I think this is really pretty. I really like it. So there we are with the first image. We're gonna go to the second image now. So here's another image that we're going to be working with today. This one's not going to be part of the fashion shoot, but I thought it was a really pretty portrait and I wanted to add it into this. So I'm just going to brighten the exposure a little bit. You can already tell that it's a little flat. There's no texture in her hair. The color in the background is really pretty, but her eyes aren't popping and it could just be a lot better. So what we're going to do is go over here and put our preset on so you can kind of see already like the before and after. So that's the before and that's the after. So like the other image, it gave it a little bit more of a, what's it called? Like a green tinge to it. So we're just going to up it, not like much at all. I don't even know where it was. That's too green. Okay, I think I like that. Maybe. Okay, let's just do 0. Ah, no, that's what I think is. Okay, so we're just gonna do 0. That's a pretty, you know, even mark. And so we've raised our exposures. I'm going to tone down the highlights a little bit. And there are some weird shadows on her face just because we were shooting in harsh daylight. And so here it is so far, the after and the before. So you can already tell that it's a huge difference. I love this image. Her eyes look so pretty. Okay, so I don't want the blue to be in the background too distracting. So what I'm going to do is actually tone down the color just a little bit. Yeah, and I'm making sure that it doesn't affect her eyes. And I think it is going to. Next, I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other image, and we're going to just sharpen everything that I want in focus. So her eyes, her hair, some freckles, lips, stuff like that. Now let's do enable profile corrections. Then we're just going to make the vignetting a little bit darker. Okay, that looks good. And as you can see, there's just a tiny bit of grain to really make it look more like film. All of this is kind of like just tweaking things and making it work with you. So this is going to help our style. So just, you know, play around with it, see what looks good for you and what's working for you. Next, I'm going to work on her eyes. I'm going to zoom in. And then what we're going to do is do the iris enhance. And then just brighten those eyes up. Awesome. Okay, so I love doing that. And then I also love press new for a new brush. And then I also love clarity. So what we're going to do is just make the eyelashes around the eyes pop more. like I said, it's just a huge push and pull to see what you really like. We're going to do a new brush and then do Dodge Lighten Skin, kind of like what we did before. And then just make sure that this is all nice, light and bright, so that way her face really pops. This is with the adjustment brush and this is without. So you can definitely tell a big difference. Her face is toned out more. It just pops more. There's like no other way to say that. And I really like it. Here is the portrait so far. I think it's so pretty. I love working with, you know, people who have just really unique features, like the curly hair, the freckles, the blue eyes. I think that's really pretty. Taylor, who is the model over here, has really pretty features as well. I mean, like, her hair is just absolutely gorgeous and she has a beautiful complexion. So I love this one. This one was at an old ice box, where you can get like ice and stuff, and I don't know if a lot of you have these where you are, but these are everywhere in the South and I really like them. So let's go to our preset that we have grown to love. And just really play around with these and see what works for you. So I want to crush the whites just a little bit, and then let's see, I feel like the brick is a little distracting, and what I'm going to do is just tone that down. It's going to tone down the other reds in the picture, but I don't really mind that so much. Just making sure that her face doesn't get too like, you know, corpse-like, so that way everything's pretty good and pretty natural. I'm just using my handy dandy, I guess, direct adjustment luminance brush tool. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, and just kind of making her face pop a little bit more just with that. And I am going to crush the blacks just a little bit. Now that doesn't do too much, but it's more like a mind thing, so just bear with me, please. Okay, I really like that. I may move some of these up just a little bit more. And so far this is the after and the before, so a major difference already. I also want to level the lighting just a little bit, so I'm using the graduated filter, doing that and making sure that it is on Dodge Lighten. Okay, and then that's good. And then I'm going to bring down the blacks just a little bit, and maybe a little bit of the shadows. I could do this with two methods. I could do this with the graduated filter or the adjustment brush tool, and I think I'm actually going to do it with the adjustment brush tool. I'm using the Haze, and I am making a large brush and just painting the sky back. And like I've said before, you can press O and see what is selected and what's not selected. I am also going to just go ahead and press color. And see what happens. Not too much. A little, but not too much. Okay, so this is, and then I'm just going to see what I like and what I don't like. So one thing I definitely don't like is this dark spot here, so I am going to erase it with my eraser tool. Pretty self-explanatory, nothing too complicated. Lightroom is your friend, not your enemy. Just remember that. And I also saw where I kind of got dark on this side of her, and I actually don't mind that. With the adjustment brush tool and without it. So you can go ahead, you can already tell there's a difference on the left side of her face. And it brightens up her eyes a little too. So anything that we can do with eyes is awesome. Okay, so here is the before and after of that one. And you may can already tell, but I actually like to underexpose my work because I like to be able to bring back certain aspects of the image. This really fun one of Maddie. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is straighten this pole up because it's really bothering me. I shot this through a glass, and it was really hard to not have the pole right in front of her face. So I had to definitely maneuver a little bit, but Maddie is just like the other girl. She's really gorgeous, and she knows how to do her hair and makeup, and whew, she was killing it that day. So this is with the filter. This is without the filter, so it's a little bit flatter. This one's definitely, it smooths her skin out. It balances certain colors out. I really like this one. Okay, so here is the before and after of that one. And you can just see that we got rid of some of the redness, the distortion in the camera lens, and then of course, well, you can't really see the before here, but we actually straightened out the photo a little, made her eyes pop more, and then toned down the green and the blue in the background so it wasn't so distracting. Just for fun, I decided to do this one because I wanted to see what happens in super direct light. So here we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and try out different presets and see which one I like the best. I think there's one that I really like. I don't know why, but I really like the magenta kind of shadows in this. Don't ask me why. I'm going to crush the whites, and you can already see that the blacks are pretty much like crushed. So we're going to just raise the exposure a little bit, go down with the highlights, because see how blown out her face is here? When you're shooting in harsh light, bringing down the highlights really helps bring back a lot of the detail. So that's what we're doing. Raising the shadows, seeing what this looks like. That's a little too bright. I like that. And just really playing with it. Now this may not be one that we choose for the final pictures, but I really do like it. this place was actually April's grandpa's old radiator shop, so this was very special for us to shoot at, and it's just really fun and a really great location. So this is what this image looks like now. I think this is actually one of my favorite ones. I don't know what the other girls are going to think about it, but I really like this. So this is the before and after, and you can tell that the after has a much more vintage feel to it. The left one is really harsh, but the right one has just that really light and filmy look. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed me experimenting with some of these presets. You can get them at VSCO. I will link them down below. I'm not being sponsored or anything. I wish they would sponsor me. I wish Adobe would sponsor me. I wish Lightroom, all these places would sponsor me, but I am just really wanting to share my experiences and what I've learned with you. So I have taken photography classes in the past. I have my degree in fine art, so that's kind of like a given that I've done photography. I used to do film photography back in college, and I'd love to get back into it, so I'm on the hunt for that perfect camera. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this video if you like this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!